You hate this animal. You don't even have to think about it. The word itself makes your skin move. Rat. Something old and deep inside your DNA recoils, the exact same way it recoils from rot, ruin, and things that live where things should never live. You have been taught to hate the rat the way you were taught to fear the dark. It is instinct by now. It is reflex. And you have never once stopped to ask whether that disgust was actually earned, because the truth is harder than the hate. The truth is that the rat is the most important medical partner in human history. We blamed it for a global plague. It probably didn't even spread. We have poisoned it, trapped it, and loathed it for centuries. And then, quietly, in the clean white rooms we never choose to think about, we used its living body to build the medicine that keeps us alive. Nearly every single drug you have ever swallowed was tested in a rat first. Nearly every treatment that has saved someone you love passed through the body of this animal before it ever entered yours. You owe the rat your life. You just can't stand to hear it. Let's start with the lie, because the lie is the foundation of everything we believe about this creature. The Black Death, a plague that wiped out a third of Europe. Somewhere around 25 million human beings gone in the 14th century alone, marking one of the most devastating pandemics in all of human history. And the story we tell is simple. It was the rats, filthy, swarming, disease-carrying rats, pouring death into the streets of medieval cities. It is perhaps the single most famous criminal accusation in the history of animals. The rat killed Europe. The rat is death. Except the modern science no longer supports that story. In 2018, a study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences modeled the spread of the Black Death across Europe. They compared 3 separate scenarios: one where rat fleas spread the plague, one where human parasites, our own fleas and body lice, spread it, and one where it passed directly through the air between people. The researchers tested their models against actual mortality records from 9 different historical outbreaks across the second pandemic. And the model that fit best, the one that most accurately matched how real people actually died, was the human parasite model. Not rats, us, our own fleas, our own lice, crawling on our own bodies and jumping between us in our own crowded, unwashed homes. Other studies have supported this. Researchers have pointed out that the massive rat die-offs you would expect if a plague were jumping from rodents to humans, events scientists call rat falls, are well documented in modern plague outbreaks, but they are conspicuously absent from medieval records. The environmental conditions in much of medieval Europe may not have even supported the kind of massive, stable rat populations that the traditional textbook theory requires. The rat may not be entirely innocent. Rats can carry plague. They have carried it in modern outbreaks. But the story that rats were the primary engine of the Black Death, the story that turned this animal into the most hated creature in Western civilization, is, at best, a massive oversimplification. And at worst, it is a 700-year-old slander on an animal that was simply standing in the exact same sinking ship we were. We were lousy, we were crowded, we were dirty, and we blamed the rat. That blame stuck. It stuck so deeply that we have spent centuries trying to destroy this animal with a level of persistence we have applied to almost nothing else on Earth. We have poisoned it, trapped it, gassed it, drowned it. We designed entire global industries around killing it. And the rat? This is the part that should earn your respect whether you want to give it or not. Survived every single bit of it. The rat is arguably the most successful mammal on Earth besides us. It lives on every single continent except Antarctica. It eats what we eat, lives where we live, breeds faster than we can kill it, and adapts to our synthetic poisons within generations. Where we go, it follows. Where we build, it nests. It is our shadow, an uninvited mirror, thriving in the exact conditions we create, consuming the exact waste we produce. We cannot get rid of it because it is, in a very real sense, a reflection of us. It lives in our world because our world is the perfect rat habitat. We built it for them without meaning to. And then, in the 20th century, we decided to use the thing we hated most to save the thing we loved most: ourselves. The laboratory rat changed the world. It is not an exaggeration to say that modern medicine, as you know it, was built entirely on the bodies of rats and mice. They make up roughly 95% of all laboratory animals used in scientific research. 95%. Every year, an estimated 80 to 100 million of them are used in the United States alone. They share approximately 90% of their genes with us. Their hearts work like ours. Their nervous systems respond like ours. Their cancers grow like ours. And because of that, we have used them to test absolutely everything. The insulin that keeps diabetics alive was tested in rats. The chemotherapy that fights your cancer was tested in rats. The blood pressure medication, the antidepressants, the antibiotics, the vaccines, including the mRNA vaccines that were developed during the pandemic, all of them passed through the body of a rat or a mouse before they were deemed safe enough for you to swallow. More than 80% of the Nobel Prizes awarded in physiology or medicine involved research on animals, and the overwhelming majority of those animals were rodents. The rat didn't just contribute to modern medicine, it is the foundation modern medicine was built on. And this is the thing that nobody wants to sit with, so I will say it plainly. We despise this animal. We use the word rat as a direct insult. It means traitor. It means filth. It means the lowest thing a human being can possibly be. And while we were calling it that, it was dying in our laboratories by the tens of millions so that we could live. It has no monument. It has no medal. It has no protection under the primary animal welfare law in the United States. The Animal Welfare Act specifically excludes rats and mice from its legal protections. The animal that has saved more human lives than any other creature in the history of medicine is not even legally classified as an animal worth protecting in the country that uses the most of them. Read that again. The thing that tested your life-saving medicine is not protected by the law that protects research animals. That is how deeply we have buried the debt. And here is the part that should change the way you think, even if it cannot change the way you feel. Rats are not what you think they are. They are not mindless. Studies have shown that rats will actively free a trapped companion even when they have the option of eating chocolate instead. They choose rescue over reward. They have been documented showing clear signs of empathy, of regret, of something that looks very much like audible laughter when they play. They dream. Their brains, during sleep, replay the mazes they ran during the day, using the exact same neural patterns that human brains use when we dream about our own days. They form bonds. They grieve. We did not choose the rat for our labs because it was the most disposable animal we could find. We chose it because it was the most like us. And that is the cruelest irony in this entire story. The animal we hate the most is the animal most like us, the one that adapts, that survives, that thrives in the mess of human life, that forms bonds and solves problems and refuses to die no matter how hard the world pushes against it. We see ourselves in the rat, and we cannot stand the reflection. So we look away. We always look away. But the rat doesn't look away. The rat looks straight at the world we built and finds a way to live in it, the exact same way it always has. The same way it did 1,000 years ago when we blamed it for a plague it probably didn't cause, and 100 years ago when we put it in a cage and asked it to die so we could live. The rat has survived us. It has survived everything. It survived the poison and the traps and the centuries of hatred and the sterile white rooms where it gave its body for our medicine. And it is still here, in your walls maybe, under your floor, in the subway, in the alley, in every city you have ever walked through, living right alongside you, whether you know it or not. In the shadow of every building you have ever entered, you will not love the rat. I am not asking you to, but the next time you take a pill, the next time you trust a medicine, the next time you survive something that would have killed your great-grandparents, know that a rat survived it first. In a cage, without being asked, so that you could swallow it in safety and never think about where it came from. That is the debt. It is not the kind you can repay. It is the kind you carry, whether you want to or not, in every single prescription bottle sitting on your shelf right now. If this changed how you see them, or if it didn't, and you still can't stand the thought of them, tell me in the comments either way, because that honesty is the whole point of this series. And subscribe, because the next animal in this series is not a predator or a pet or a pest. It is something smaller than your thumb, and without it, every plant you have ever seen and every single bite of food you have ever eaten ceases to exist. Ring the bell. You need to hear this one.